Hi guys, how you doing?
Hi, are you okay?
Good, thank you. Again, big thanks for doing this. I'm Byron Clithero. I'm the Honorary Education Officer for Physio First. Part of my job remit is putting together education resources for all the physios and physio clinics that we work with. We've got an edition of our magazine coming up on the Commonwealth Games. I've got a few good physios writing for us, and then somebody mentioned wouldn't it be a really good idea to get the athlete and coach perspective on physio. I think I've got the perfect partnership for that. So I think most people know that we've got the Commonwealth Games coming up in Birmingham. So I have with me the poster boy, I believe, for the Commonwealth Games, Fraser, a World Champion Gymnast. And unless I'm wrong, you're one of only 3 World Champion Gymnasts in artistic gymnastics from Great Britain. Is that right?
Yeah.
Max,
That's right.
Max and Beth, I think the only other 2. Okay, also an Olympic finalist, multi-medal winning gymnast in international competitions, and alongside him is coach, who's obviously helped produce all that, along with a whole squad of gymnasts who won massive international success. So obviously the other reason that you were really good to interview, Joe, is that I believe you've just recovered from a shoulder injury and following shoulder surgery. So first question and over to you is, what was the injury?
So I had a rotator cuff tear and a tendon tear.
Okay, and do you know what surgery it was you had?
Yeah, he had it put back together.
That's not very technical. Okay,
I think
you just had it all repaired.
The rotator cuff had a 1.3 millimeter C-shaped tear, and the whatever other tear it was a centimetre, I think. Was that right?
Okay.
Something along those lines. All I know is it was, and it definitely needed surgery.
Right, okay. Okay, so how quickly, so the difference, we'll try out sort of the difference between the physio that an elite athlete gets and what somebody in private practice will get and somebody what the NHS will get. So how quickly were you seen by the physio after the surgery?
So I went in within a week of having the surgery, not to start any physio exercises, just to, make sure, because I started doing slight movements, because I wasn't allowed out of the sling majority of the day. So it was just to see how I felt and how much pain I was in after the surgery.
Okay, so
doing actual physio work until 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4, 2 to 4 weeks after.
Right. Okay. So you were just given really basic exercises, I presume, and then just immobilized for the first 2 to 4 weeks. Okay. So after that, so how often were you being seen for physio after that initial rest period in a sling?
For me, I tried to treat physio when I'm injured like that, just as I would training. So I understood that I wouldn't be in the gym from 9:30 till 5 anymore. So I could spend that time with our physio. So I was happy to take the trip to Lilleshall and be with our physio Johnny all day, every day. So as much as I could, I was up here, and I was lucky enough, lucky or unlucky enough, to have Gianni, who was doing a very similar surgery recovery journey with me at the same time. So it made it easier for us to bounce off each other whilst we were recovering.
Okay, that's good. So for anybody who doesn't know, so Gianni is one of the other Olympic team members that trains at Lilleshall, which is the National Sports Centre for Gymnastics. Okay, so you're spending quite a few hours down having treatment, because that's really unusual. So in sort of normal private practice, you get an appointment for half an hour or maybe 45 minutes, or you're lucky an hour, but you're spending virtually a full day getting rehab, were you?
Yeah. So myself, Johnny, and our strength and conditioning coach Rudy, who was, molding that structure of my plan together day by day, and we were adapting it day by day to see, well, depending on my progress or if it was a bit more sore the next day. So we was doing everything we could to manage that journey best way we could.
Okay, and will you be seen every day for that long? Or were you doing a few times a week, or?
5 days. I'd be here Monday to Friday, and then I'd do a session at G in Birmingham on the Saturday.
Right. Okay. Gosh, a lot of physio then. Okay, so
Byron, it might be important to say that in those hours that he was with the guys, the physio and the strength and conditioning, it was predominantly about his shoulder, but it was about keeping him well-rounded. So he did a lot of leg work, core work, every muscle that he could do. Because he couldn't do his gymnastics training, they were looking after him. So although his shoulder was immobilised, they looked after the whole, his whole body.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, so to keep him as fit as he possibly could, so he'd get back to his training as quick as possible. Yeah, that's good. So how many different physios did you have involved then? So obviously you just told us you had Johnny.